So let's do a quick little history lesson. Long time ago, watching their kids, watching each other, people watching, and they noticed something strange. They would say something and it would affect other people. And then they noticed, watching the animals could understand them in some degree or in some way. So, experimenting and doing all these things that people do because they need to know. We need to find out what's going on here. This is strange. This is weird. Can we use this for anything? Can we use it to our advantage? So people are like, millennia pass. Apparently, mankind's been around on Earth for 1 million years, depending upon who you ask. Does matter? Depends upon who you ask. So, they found out, hey, I can get more of what I want that's going to make my life better if my livestock or whatever I am trading, selling, bartering, if there's more of what I have, then that will up my bartering power or the price of my commodity. So if I have a collection, if I have material things, if I have livestock and it's healthy, and in learning about genes turning off and on your metabolism, they realized that 90 days is all it takes to change the genes, the on-off mechanism to your metabolism. And they found that they could increase the weight of animals or livestock and people too by changing their genes by turning them on and off. How's that help me? Why are you even telling me? Are you telling me I'm fat or I'm too skinny? Hear me out and you'll understand. So we live in a world where some people will lead you to believe money rules the world. Okay? So with that idea, there are also people who understand the arrow slingshot effect, where reverse psychology, we will tell you the world is ruled by evil. Now, what does that do? Well, in theory, if there's a reason for everything, then telling you that the world's ruled by evil, what is the slingshot effect? What is the reverse psychology? Reverse psychology states it is up to you to choose between who rules the world, right? If it's up to you to be the hero, then you have to learn what is creating all the bad things in the world. Hence, how do you make an honest man? Yeah, that's right. You have to teach the honest man every way to deceive, scam, and corrupt you or anybody else. You can't cheat an honest man. You can't keep a good man down. Now do you get it? So if the world's ruled by evil, and I'm going to turn you into an honest man, I have to teach you every single way that I can to deceive you. Does that make sense? So, you have a world full of people who can be told who rules the world, and they have no power to change that because they're only people. I'm only one person in a world of lots of people. So, with the understanding that money rules the world and it takes 90 days to turn your genes on and off, your metabolism, and we are giving you this knowledge so that you can decide, are you going to turn your genes on or off? And depending upon what you decide, you still have to, knowing is only half the battle. Because just because you know that you have to turn your genes on and off, you still need to learn how. So when you look at the farmers or anybody producing livestock, a product, and people are human beings and they produce children. And we are all children at some point in life, right? So for us, if you ask what's the reason for life, pretty much everybody, well, I talked to a few people, from little kids to people my age to senior citizens, and there are a lot of different views as to why we're alive. So we live in a multiverse where if money rules the world and it's my job to take responsibility, make as much money as I can because money rules the world, I have to learn about every way to create an income so that I don't have to work so hard. So my money works for me and I don't work for money because everything I own can be taken. It can be lost, destroyed, whatever it is. Essentially, I just have it for a period of time. Maybe until it's no good and then it becomes recyclable. Everything's recyclable. So, again, people have learned, oh, if you create livestock or people and they're physically fit, physically healthy, when you're born, you are at your prime and you are at your best. But you're also a clean slate who, if you don't program yourself, hence this is a parent's job, it's up to parents to teach their child everything they need to know to survive in the world. And if they don't know everything, because it's impossible to know everything, then they will not be able to teach their child or children that other people will shape that views and feelings about the child, themselves, other people, including the parents and family members, and other people, as well as the world around them and who rules the world. So if I'm given the power to rule the world, then you're giving me the power. And as parents, as teachers, as coaches, as every human being in this world, it's not our job to rule. It's our job to make choices and be the decisive decision called choice to stipulate, hey, this is how I feel, This is why I feel the way I feel, and it's my job as a guide, as a teacher, as a coach, as a parent, as authority to if I know more than you, it is my job to communicate on your level so you understand everything you need to know in order to survive and thrive, and to inspire you so you can aspire to where you want to be and how you want to conduct yourself at this pinnacle of the very best you can be. That makes sense, right? So, in feeding nutritionally deficient food to animals, to people, you see the effects over 90 days. Look, they are unhealthy, they're gaining all this weight, and they are using food, or food is using them in a way of creating a need for more food. Thus, you have people who have designed food, processed food, to make you want to eat more because you're not getting what you need. So now you gotta go and find what you need. That kind of makes sense, right? Because money rules the world. And if I don't create a need for you to separate yourself from your money, then I will not be able to feed my family. That makes sense, right? So we live in a world where the economy and the need to circulate and for me to be responsible and take care of all my people can't be done unless I use your money so I can raise my family. And it's not my fault if you're ignorant and you were never taught about the slingshot effect. If you were never taught about a system that divides and conquers through separating you from what you need. You get that, right? So it doesn't matter if it's relationships, doesn't matter if it's food, doesn't matter if it's social status, doesn't matter, because no matter what, somebody has a product that is going to meet your needs if you don't know how to. You can use drugs, alcohol, food, exercise, sex. You can use music or anything that'll fill that gap, hence empty people or empty soulless shells, because they are devoid of what knowing how to get fulfillment from the things in life that empower them to make the right choices because nobody taught them. Oh, the food you're eating is nutritionally deficient of what your body truly needs. And because of this deficiency, you're physically showing the lack of nutrition or the lack of what you really need. Does that make sense? So, if I create a world where everything is at war and there are only two sides, black and white, and I call them the male and the female energy, what am I doing? Yeah. I'm either trying to shape your views of the world, or B, I'm trying to protect you. And if I show you C and I hold a prism and I put light through the prism, and you see that only light separates into all these different colors. So light is chaos, and light is female as per se about, but you look and you go, oh look, we say that we see that darkness is the female energy. And it depends upon who you look at and what you are taught is the male or the female, right? The female has always been the receptacle of the male energy. She has always needed the male energy, which is darkness, because the male energy has focus. The male energy is very focused on whatever needs to be done, right? And so is the female, though, depending upon the person, right? Because there are males and females, and in every species of Leos, there are dominant and not dominant Leos. And Leos are the, I could be wrong here, but they're the DNA or the genes that when we make little mini-me's, they're the ones that between a man and woman, they're the genes that we pass on, and they shape what little mini-me is going to look like. Now, we don't teach that depending upon how you feel upon conception, if it's real love, being satisfied, and true gratuity between both parties, the man and woman, and they are truly, honestly, sexually fulfilled because each other know how to guide and tell the other one, communicate, I want and need you to do this. Well, I love making you happy. I want to do that too. Because I'm not truly, honestly happy unless I know you're truly, honestly happy. And if I can't get that from you, I'm going to go look for somebody else who I can fulfill and meet all her wants and needs in every way. And two, from the woman, if she can't get fulfilled and get all her sexual, mental, and emotional needs met, same as the man, she too will go hunting for, because we live in a consumer society. And if this store doesn't have everything I want and need, I'm going to go get it from another store. And I'm going to go be like a teenager from one to another person until I find gratification, satiety, total bliss. Because that's what a human being needs, so that there is no temptation, so there is no need, because all people like to be at home. All people, when they get home from whatever they're doing, they're home because they get all their needs fulfilled at home. And if somebody is in desperation, if they're in deprivation, if they're in anything that resembles nutritionally deficiency or just a deficiency of whatever kind, they're going to either suffer or they're going to go out and look for it. Suffering's like pain. Only when you're deficient, you don't know you're in pain. Okay? All you know is that you need something, and you go around self-medicating, exercising, eating, whatever you need to be fulfilled. And if you can't find that fulfillment in whatever part is lacking, whether it's work, physical, sexual relationship, a mental or emotional relationship with the people in your life, right? Every relationship thrives for the reason that relationship exists. If I go to any place, I might go for whatever that place offers, whether it's services or products. But if I go to a place because I like the people, then I could be going for their charismatic and how they make me feel, or I could be going because of the mental conversations or just the general emotional connection that I get. Or it could be totally just window covering, right? I just go because they're eye candy, and I can't help but keep going back because they're just beautiful people. They could have extra weight, they could be very thin, they could be unhealthy. But beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and if I see that there's just something about that person or those people that draws me to them, I could look at somebody who's angry, and be attracted to them. And awareness is asking myself, why am I attracted to that person? She is so angry. I should not be attracted to her. I don't like that kind of energy. And then I look and I go, why am I attracted to that person? Why is she attractive when I've met a lot of angry women and I don't feel that way about those other women? And then I look and I see, oh, maybe she's angry because she's missing something in her life. Or maybe she's got all this weight and she's missing something in her life. Or maybe whatever the reason, and I am attracted because I think that I can be exactly what she wants and needs. And that if it's a sexual or any other type of relationship, that whatever's creating that anger, that extra weight, or anything else, that will all subside and go away, because now I'm giving her what is missing in her life. And that's what creates the attraction. I'm attracted to guys because I want to be Jean-Claude Van Damme. I want to be Bruce Lee. I want to be Hulk Hogan. I want to be Scott Hall or any of these other male figure role models who I envision myself. If I was a little kid, I'd want to grow up like that. You get that, right? And unfortunately, little kids, if you don't tell them about attraction and why there are differences of attraction, they might have all these feelings, creating a weakest link where now their sexuality is in question because they like somebody of their own sex, not realizing there's a difference between sexual attraction and role model attraction. Realizing that, oh, I like that person because they're so funny and I want to be funny. I want to be liked by the people I like. And if I can love somebody so much and they don't even have to love me. They don't even have to love me. So if you learn about this stuff and you teach your kids about this stuff, they will be able to ask themselves, why do I feel this way? And when they see that they can like guys and girls, but depending upon why they like somebody, I want to look like that so that I can be with the woman or the man that I'm actually infatuated with. And infatuation can be a good thing, because if I'm ever in a sexual relationship, I don't want that sexual relationship to ever change. I don't want to become an adult relationship where, well, baby, go ahead, go be with that guy. I don't mind. I'm an adult. See, depending upon your understanding of an adult, not all adults feel that way. Not all men are okay with their women being with other men. So, if I'm creating a world where open relationships create, how do you call it, non-confrontational and passive people who are non-confrontational and who are non-owners of the people in their life, what am I doing by creating open relationships? In theory, I'm creating a safer world, right? Look, he doesn't own her, she doesn't own him, and they live separate lives, and they go enjoy a polygamy existence where they get to have more than one sexual relationship in their life. And by rights and by theory, that can and does work for some people. But what about the people it doesn't work for? Oh, well, then you're going to create domestic violence, or you're going to create a separation, and you're going to create single relationships where the man's just there and the woman's just there to breed and have a child and maybe go and enjoy their life with somebody else. So in a world where you can use everything to your advantage, and I want to build the world that I want to build, then it's my responsibility to decide where my boundaries are, sexually, mentally, emotionally, financially. Am I going to use my knowledge to profit off and target the people who need my knowledge, but only for money, right? So again, mentality is everything. And when you see that, if you know enough about what you truly, honestly need to know, people will pay you for anything that you're able to do. If I want to write a book, I could get paid for that. And there would be people who desperately need that book. Same with products. I can make products, but I would choose to make them with other people. Just like the book I'd write. I'd make it with other people. Thanks a lot.